What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of CryptoZombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having an excellent day today. Having a look at this beautiful recovery, this bounce. Bitcoin is still around the $34,000 level, bouncing between 34 and 35. Lots of recovery in the altcoins. Specifically today, Polkadot is actually up 18%. Good old Polkadot. Having a look right here, we are continuing to go sideways. Now, there are some people saying that there is a potential chance for a head and shoulders breakdown. We could be looking for some crazy low levels like $23,000 Bitcoin. Well, I do want to talk about that. I also want to discuss the fact that we have seen massive whales transferring huge amounts. We saw almost $2 billion, around 55,000 individual Bitcoin has been shuffled across these big whale wallets. Some of them are heading to the exchanges. Does this mean that they're looking to sell? Well, I'm going to tell you what is really actually happening in the background. We're going to analyze some on-chain data. I'll let you know exactly what is going on with this Bitcoin, what to expect. I also want to talk about the fact that some people have been saying that Bitcoin has hit 7% of gold supply, and they've been sort of predicting what would happen. But I want to let you know that we actually may not have hit that level. We may be under 7%, but this is actually a very, very good thing for Bitcoin. We also have another billionaire finally changing his tune, as well as some big news from the SEC in the US. This is bullish today, so we're going to talk about what you can expect. Are we looking for a huge pullback? What is happening? And if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. If you are not subscribed, definitely consider it. And hopping right in here, you will see that once again, we have had another beautiful bounce at the 21 exponential on the daily. I told you this is an excellent opportunity to put in those longs if you are trading over on Bybit, for example. Anytime we come down here, if you just simply put a long in, hold for, a couple hours or so a day, you usually will have that bounce. If you guys are interested in trading in Bybit, I do have a tutorial popping up above, but talking about this potential head and shoulders pattern, you can see right here, this is what a lot of people are calling for. Here's the head is the top, and then you have the two shoulders, and yes, that could potentially give us a target of all the way back down to 23,000. Now, how is that target figured out? Well, you take the distance from the neckline to the head, but also if we look at the VPVR behind me, you'll notice that there are lots of levels of accumulation right here, which is where we've been bouncing around. The next level is actually right around the $29,000 level. If you see, I'll actually point it right here. We have another level of support right around 26 and a half, and then the lowest is down here, which we do have the largest VPVR, and that is around $23,000. Now, do I actually think this is going to happen? Well, if you were on Twitter last night, I did have a little bit of an opposing view to Lark Davis. He was talking about a potential breakdown from this head and shoulders pattern, and I said everyone's calling for a bearish breakdown of this head and shoulders, but it seems too easy. We've seen time and time again that we've had these multiple ascending wedges, right, which are typically bearish, but the fact that we are having a run to the upside, we are in a bull market, we've seen all of these patterns break to the upside, where a textbook analysis would tell you that we should be breaking down. Now listen, I'm not going to go out here and say that we can't have a lower Bitcoin price. In fact, there is an opportunity that we retest the bottom of this ascending channel, right? And that could bring us back down to the $30,000 level one more time. But what I'm looking at short term is not so much these patterns that everyone is looking at, but really these resistance and support levels. I find them to be the most important. These little chart patterns, they're good for small moves, but we could be potentially forming something bigger. This could be some kind of potential wedge that's for a triangle formation, right? We don't really know yet until we have the confirmation. So a lot of people commented about the head and shoulders yesterday. Do I think it's a possibility? Yes. But I just want you to be aware of the fact that, number one, it could be a fake out. We could see a wick all the way to the downside. Everybody thinks we're going to break out or break down. They sell, and then we pump right back to these levels. And I just want you to know that we have had multiple ascending wedges, which are bearish, technically, which have broken to the upside. So technical analysis helps us to kind of take a guess where Bitcoin could be heading, but keep in mind the trend is your friend. I wouldn't really call the trend broken just yet. If we do zoom out, we are still moving upwards, and Bitcoin dominance is still bouncing between 67 and 73%, which is telling me that Bitcoin is still the place to be. It is still really what a lot of the institutions are looking at. It's just having a bit of a cool-off period, right? But I know what you're saying. Whale alert, in the past 24 hours, we've had over 55,000 Bitcoin worth almost $2 billion moving. We've had 9,000 worth about 320 6 million and another 4,000 worth 143. And in addition to these, we had 6 large crypto holders move thousands of Bitcoin from private wallets to crypto exchanges. So usually when you take crypto off of exchanges, you're looking to hold it. But when you send it to the exchanges, that means that you are looking to sell. So could we experience another little dump, another selling pressure from these whales? Well, what I want to discuss right now is who exactly is spending it. Who is selling their Bitcoin? Well, this chart is a few days old, but this is a snapshot from January 9th, which was one day before we had the dip. And you can see, according to Whale Map, the majority of the selling volume came from hodlers that accumulated right here around April 2019, October of 2019, and right towards the end of April 2020. So these are a lot of the sellers. Now, here's the interesting thing. If we actually, look forward to what is happening now, you're seeing that it is a lot smaller. So these are a lot of maybe these guys got in, they bought, they finally made some profits and they sold, right? But here's the thing. They're out of the game. And these are not the huge institutions. These are just some guys that got in, maybe some Wall Street dudes that bought, right? They had a bag and now their bag, maybe they made like $1 million or something and then they sold. Okay, great. Have fun with your $1 million that you made. You guys can, get out of the way, because what we're seeing here, and this is what I think is the most important, is the big whales, the giant blue whales. They call them the blue whales, right? The top 100 richest Bitcoin addresses are increasingly bullish. And while these other accounts over here, have actually been selling, we have seen the top accounts accumulating 16% more Bitcoin over the last 30 days. In total, these addresses now hold 334,000, around $11 billion worth, and the majority barely reacted to the Bitcoin drop from 41 to 33. Only 7 of these addresses conducted a transfer out of the wallets. Now, it is worth noting that some of these are in fact exchanges. However, we know that they're not all because the exchanges have identified themselves. The rest are believed to be a mix of institutional investors and wealthy hodlers, with it being almost impossible to differentiate between the two. But what is clear is that the big guys are not being easily influenced by this negative sentiment. And according to BitInfo charts, 64, so 64%, because it's 64 out of the top 100, have not even sold a single Satoshi. So 64% of the top blue whale wallets have not only not ever sold, but have been accumulating 16% in the past 30 days, and they were not responsible for the big sell-off. So this is proving to me that the institutions are hungry, and they know that it is going to be potentially gold 2.0, the replacement of gold, right? And actually, as Ki Young Ju pointed out, people said Bitcoin took 7% of the gold market cap. No, it's not. There are unclaimed, unreachable, and lost Bitcoins, Satoshi's Bitcoins, right? Based on the realized cap, it's only about 2%. And you might think that that's bearish. Oh, unfortunately, we're only around 2%. No, but think about it. If the target remains the same, eclipsing gold market cap, or even hitting half of the gold market cap, if we look at he says if digital gold replaces 10% of gold, market cap then would be actually $154,000 for Bitcoin, which means that it would be even higher if it reached the absolute market cap of gold, putting each Bitcoin at $1.5 million per coin, given the actual realized cap for Bitcoin. So this thing is so early. There is so much potential. And, for these guys over here that are selling, congratulations, you might have made a profit, but you are missing out on the big gains, my friend. You could see even billionaire investor Howard Marks admitted that he needed to change his skeptical view. He called Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme multiple times, but now in his latest memo, he actually, which by the way, he is the chairman of Oak Tree Capital, which does over 140 billion in assets under management, noted that, he was critical, but his son has bought in, and he says that he is in fact thankful. Back in 2017, he says, my memo was talking about cryptocurrencies. I was highly skeptic over it. This view has been subject to much discussion for me and Andrew, who is quite positive on Bitcoin, and several others, and thankfully owns a meaningful amount. He says, while the story is far from fully written, the least I can say is that my skeptical view has not borne out to date. So while he does say he is still skeptical, you need to give credit where it's due. I'm sure eventually he'll fully come around to it, right? But he says when innovations work, it's only later that what first seemed crazy becomes consensus. Without attaining real knowledge of what's going on and attempting to fully understand the positive case, it's impossible to have a sufficiently informed view to warrant the dismissiveness that many of us exhibit in the face of innovation, right? Lots of things are faced with innovation. When the car came out, people said it'll never work. When electricity replaced candles, they said it'll never work. People are getting electrocuted. People are getting hit by cars, right? And then they use the thing, it's only used for criminals, right? Only criminals are using these cars, right? Come on, guys. Only criminals use Bitcoin. You've seen this over and over and over again. These are the things that they say when innovation. Netflix won't work. Who's going to want to, go online and order videos? Uber won't work. Come on. And now look at these different companies and look at where Bitcoin is today, right? So don't listen to the naysayers. Don't listen to the fudders. They want your Bitcoin. I've proven this to you. If you don't believe me, go back to my video right here that says you have been lied to, and I will show you exactly how they are manipulating the market and exactly how they want you to freak out and panic and sell them your Bitcoin for cheap because they know where it's going, because they know that it will eventually eclipse gold, and we are talking one Bitcoin worth 1.523, maybe even $5 million per Bitcoin, right? And like Dan Held says, percentage of the world that was using the internet in 1995, 0.5%. Percentage of the world using the internet in 2021, 60%. Percentage of the world using Bitcoin in 2021, about 0.5%. And considering we just breached the all-time high and everyone is celebrating, but consider how many people still don't even own a piece of the pie yet. And when all these millionaires figure out that they can't because there's not enough for each of them to own one, well, that is when things are going to absolutely skyrocket. And let's end today's quick video. Today's got to be a quicker video. I got a lot going on around my house today, but President-elect Joe Biden is expected to name cryptocurrency-savvy Wall Street vet Gary Gensler as the new chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. So he will be replacing Jay Clayton, who wasn't exactly too bullish on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Obviously, some people are a little worried that the XRP situation will be transferred into his hands. He's still a little skeptical about that one, but as far as Bitcoin is concerned, he is definitely on the side of Bitcoin being regulated, and we've had Brian Brooks, the comptroller, come out and say that no, they're not looking to ban Bitcoin, and even we've had the IMF coming out saying that we need to find a global way to regulate and, pretty much use Bitcoin and have it integrated because we're not going to get rid of it. They know they're not going to get rid of it, right? They just want to figure out a way so that it's not used for money laundering, etc., and all these other things and other big news. Finally, I want to end on this. We have a new Bitcoin exchange traded product from the ETC group that has been listed on the Swiss Stock Exchange 6. Announced Wednesday, the BTC, ETC, ETP. Well, say that 3 times fast, right? Tracks the price of Bitcoin and is physically backed, meaning the group actually holds the underlying cryptocurrency, right? We got a little tricked when Backed originally was offering the underlying asset, right? And then they changed it to cash settled. Well, this means that if you're going to be using this product, you actually have to have the Bitcoin in your possession, which is why Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is so huge, because if these guys want Bitcoin, they actually physically have to be holding it, which means the demand increases, and we know they're only making 900 Bitcoin a day, right? So this latest addition to the 6 exchange takes the number of ETP providers to 6 and the number of ETPs listed to 34. The exchange further reported that turnover in cryptocurrency products reached 1.2 billion in 2020. So not quite sure how everyone's bearish right now. Could we go down a little bit more? Sure. Could we consolidate? Absolutely. But I will be buying every single dip and longing every single support. And like I said, guys, if you're interested in learning how to long or short Bitcoin, I do have a tutorial probably already popped up above at some point. If you want to check it out, link below in the description. They are offering $520 in bonuses, $20 just simply for signing up. If you're interested, check that link below in the description. But that is it for me today. Happy green. Oh, nope. Now it's red, guys. It's red. That's it. Throw in the towel. It's crashing, guys. It's crashing. No. Okay. So thank you for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. Oh, and if you want to join a free Telegram group where we hang out and talk crypto all day, no strings attached, literally just hang out with a bunch of like-minded people and talk cryptocurrency. Link below in the description for my absolutely free CryptoZombies Telegram group. Come say hello. Come hang out. We'll talk altcoins. We'll have some fun. So that's it for me. Thank you so much. My name's K-Dub. This is CryptoZombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.